So now I am going to discuss 80E. See, listen. This section applies to whom? Only to an individual. This section allows deduction in respect of payment of interest on loan taken for higher education. Who is that? Taken for higher education. So deduction is allowed in respect of what? Payment of interest on loan taken for higher education. Deduction is not in respect of principal repayment here. Interest. It doesn't cover principal repayment. It talks only about interest. Fine. Loan should be taken from whom? Loan should be taken from a financial institution. Should be taken from a financial institution or approved charitable institution. Or approved charitable institution. Approved charitable institution. Here financial institution means banking company. Any other financial institution notified by central government in official gazette. Notified by central government in official gazette. Here approved charitable institution means institution approved under 1023C or under 80G. You all know this. I already discussed. 1023C subclass 4. Fund or institution which is approved by the prescribed authority, which is existing solely for charitable purpose. Which is existing solely for what purpose? Charitable purpose, and which is approved by the prescribed authority. That. And 80G, if you donate money to a public charitable institution, I am talking to you here, that is eligible for deduction from that institution. So loan should be taken from a financial institution, which is a banking company or any other financial institution as may be notified by the central government in the official gazette. Approved charitable institution means charitable institution approved under section 1023C or section 80G. I am talking to you. Here, the loan should be for higher education. Loan should be for the higher education. Loan should be for the higher education of assessee or his spouse or his children. No restriction on the number of children, Shivamani. Or student for whom the assessee is the legal guardian. For which in Botana? For whom the assessee is the legal guardian. Legal guardian. Loan should be for the higher education of the assessee or his spouse or his children or student for whom the assessee is the legal guardian. So, to consolidate the discussion, who is eligible for deduction? Individual. Deduction is allowed in respect of what? Interest. Interest on what? Loan. Taken for what purpose? Higher education. Who is higher education? Assessee is higher education, or his spouse higher education, or his children's higher education, or the student for whom the assessee is the legal guardian. And it doesn't cover principal repayment. Loan should be taken from whom? A financial institution. Financial institution means what? Banking company or any other financial institution notified by the central government in the official gazette. Okay, approved charitable institution means charitable institution approved under section 1023C or 80G. Tell here. But now what is higher education you should know. After school education, whatever course you pursue, that is higher education. Even diploma course if you pursue, that becomes higher education. Any course. Sure. After school education. After school education becomes higher education. Deduction is only upon payment. Deduction only upon payment of interest. Okay, merely if interest is accrued, if it is not paid, deduction will not be allowed. Deduction only upon payment. Payment of interest should be out of income chargeable to tax. Income chargeable to tax. Payment of interest should be out of what? Income chargeable to tax. For how many years the deduction is allowed? Period of deduction. 8 assessment years starting from 8 assessment years starting from the assessment year relevant to the previous year in which assessee starts paying interest on loan. Starts paying interest on loan. In which previous year assessee starts paying interest on loan, from that year for a period of 8 years deduction will be allowed in respect of what? Interest paid. Interest paid in each year. To consolidate the deduction, discussion. Yes, deduction only. To consolidate the deduction under 80E, why you try to find fault every time? Mokus. See, please listen. Who is eligible for deduction? Individual. Deduction is allowed in respect of what? Interest. Interest on what? Loan. Taken for what purpose? Higher education. Of whom? Assessee, or his spouse, or his children, or any student of whom he is the legal guardian. It doesn't cover principal repayment. Deduction is only upon payment. Payment of interest should be out of income chargeable to tax, and it should be for what? Higher education. Higher education means what? Any course after you complete the school education. Tell. Loan should be taken from whom? Financial institution. Financial institution for this purpose is banking company or any other financial institution notified by the central government in the official gazette, or it can be even from approved charitable institution. Okay, approved under which section? 1023C or 80G. Okay, and deduction is allowed for a period of 8 years beginning with the year on which the interest is paid for the first time. With this, section 80E is over. And it can be full-time education or part-time education. Question number 8. Question number 8. Hey, listen. X has taken 3 education loans on 1st March 2013. The details of which are given below. For full-time MBA of Mr. X, part-time MCA and full-time MBA of daughter X, daughter of X. Daughter, associate, they are doing MBA together. Okay, loan is 6 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Annual repayment, hey, it should not happen to you like this case. You should pass CA. Be focused, be focused. Please, please. Annual repayment of loan 1 lakh, 50,000, 1 lakh. Annual repayment of interest, okay, annual payment of interest 60,000, 40,000, 55,000. Find out the amount deductible under 80E for the assessment year 14-15. Jujupi question is it. Allah higher education, it can be part-time or full-time for the assessee or for his children. So interest should be allowed as a deduction. 60,000 plus 40,000 plus 55,000, 1 lakh, 55,000 should be allowed as a deduction. Okay.